Alright, so peep this. Obviously you guys have been rocking with the Dark Tournament run videos heavy, so you already know I gotta drop another one on your heads. This time covering what may be the shortest, but best believe, a run full of plentiful hands, delivered by none other than an OG herself, Genkai. And really, when you learn that this ain't her first time running this Dark Tournament gauntlet, it makes perfect sense why she did nothing but apply belts this time around. Her short run of folding niggas begins with her first 1v1 fight against Shishi Wakamaru. And just for some context, Genkai is fresh off giving this nigga Yusuke the Spirit Wave Orb. So in terms of spirit energy, her tank ain't quite on E yet, but that Gaslight is for sure on. In her own words, she got about 3 spirit gun shots before it is up. The fight kicks off with this nigga Shishi Wakamaru trying to aura farm with his sword, twirling that thing around like he's that guy. But here's the thing, bro's aura is non-existent. He really thinks he's hot shit spinning his sword, but come to find out, nobody is moved by this whatsoever, especially Genkai. She's more locked in on the fate she's gonna have to run against Toguro later, and honestly, I don't blame her. Just look at Shishi Wakamaru, and then look at Toguro. One of these niggas is very clearly a problem, and it ain't the one twirling his sword like a majorette. But let me not speak too soon, cause Shishi Wakamaru actually starts to turn up. As he spins the sword, the arena gets filled with an awful sound. I mean, a sound so dreadful, it had niggas falling to their knees covering their ears. Bro had to be playing some straight trash, shit like Prime Little Pump. Genuinely, what could someone play that would warrant this reaction?
Turn it off.
Drop your answers in the comments. Anyways, Shishi Wakamaru finally looks like he's ready to make a move. All that spinning, looking like he was charging up an ultimate move. And honestly, with how he charges at Genkai, the nigga really might have. Shishi Wakamaru jumps up into the air and swings his sword down at Genkai, seemingly booming her. And the damage doesn't stop there. A bunch of demon souls come bursting out of his attack and starts packing niggas up left and right in the crowd. And you know, as peak as the Dark Tournament is, one thing I will say is that you would never catch me stepping foot into that arena if it was real. Hell no. These participants be way too trigger happy, just itching to put random NPCs in long-lived bios. You go to watch the Dark Tournament live and you won't be leaving alive, nigga. After landing his attack, Shishi Wakamaru does what can only be described as some of the most utmost unnecessary self-glaze I've ever seen.
Now that you've witnessed the most awesome display of power ever unleashed at the Dark Tournament, there should be no debate about who the greatest showman is.
You know, I really only have one question after hearing all that glaze. Nigga, who do you think you are? Nah, like deadass though. The way he is gobbling himself up, you think this nigga was a 5-time Dark Tournament champ, coming off a 3-peat with back-to-back MVPs. Nigga talking like he runs shit. See, if it were a Team Toguro member, I would understand. No lie, whole tournament niggas been talking about Team Toguro like urban legends. Them dudes are like that. But Shishi Wakamaru! You know what? Let me move on before I really start to lose the plot. Back to the fight, and we see a giant crater left where Genkai was standing, as Shishi Wakamaru continues the self-glaze, mixing in some shit talk, hitting her with the, "I thought you were stronger." Nigga think he... But he is quickly knocked off his high horse when he hears Genkai's voice behind him. He turns and we see Genkai completely unscathed, and she proceeds to show how she's not just a master of spirit energy, but she's also a master rage baiter. Shishi Wakamaru tries to get the old jokes off, but Genkai reads that shit perfectly, playing into the old lady bit, trolling this nigga, and that gets bro fuming. He raises his sword again, preparing another attack, and just look at the crowd's reactions. Niggas begging Shishi Wakamaru to chill out on that move. Shit had the audience so scared, niggas started hauling ass, saying f the tournament. And I'm not gonna lie, I would be niggas. On the odd chance that I for some reason attend this shit live, let the most minuscule thing go wrong, I'd be hitting flash steps to get away from the venue. Shishi Wakamaru's sword starts releasing that horrendous sound again. Bro gotta be blasting that KSI or something. He stabs his sword into the ground, creating a barrier which, according to him, has no escape. But come on bro, stop the cap. You trying to tell me Genkai can't clear that fence? There just ain't no way! Anyway, as Genkai is trapped in this enclosure, Shishi Wakamaru starts yapping it up, talking a whole bunch of nonsense that pretty much boils down to him wanting to be a big star and have motion. And I can't lie, Genkai's response to this is easily one of the toughest lines I've heard.
I will be a big star!
I already am one, pretty boy. Pay attention, you'll learn something.
Nigga, she's tough! Bro really said, I'm trying to be that nigga, one of them ones, only for Genkai to tell him she's been that nigga. She's been one of them ones. Take notes, lame ass nigga, cause you in the presence of a real one. Hearing this is enough to push Shishi Wakamaru over the edge. He jumps into the air and proceeds to prove my point about the whole trap being a bunch of hoopla. You telling me this nigga isn't clearing his own barrier right here? There just ain't no way! Shishi Wakamaru comes down swinging his sword, only for Genkai to completely stun on this nigga, catching his blade between her hands. Take note, Shishi Wakamaru, cause this is what real aura looks like. While Genkai has his sword in her grasp, she siphons off his spirit energy, powering herself up and bringing her back to her youthful form as she hits Shishi Wakamaru with a spirit reflection blast, booming the nigga point blank and putting him right on his ass, making him look sorry in front of the whole crowd. Suffering this level of embarrassment gets to Shishi Wakamaru. That Genkai belt got bro tweaking out. He tries firing another wave of demon skulls at Genkai, who so calmly uses her aura to create a barrier. Shishi Wakamaru, not done tweaking quite yet, charges in once again, trying to land a direct hit with his blade. But that first spirit reflection blast from Genkai was so nice, she just had to do it to that nigga twice, sending his ass flying and eviscerating his sword in the process, putting Genkai at a strong 1-0 start. And now, after seeing how Shishi Wakamaru got done in, it makes the self-glaze earlier even worse. Nigga talked some of the biggest game, writing all the checks in the world, only to be left folded on his ass, shooting his shot at the elderly.
You what?
Yeah, after getting his ass absolutely handed to him, bro really gonna try and shoot his shot and riz up Genkai. And you guys can take a guess at how that went.
No. Oh my goodness, Valentine!
No,
What? Oh no!
No.
That is not the shot at that moment.
Bro just taking non-stop L after L. But with him out the way, we can move on to the very next and last fight for Genkai. The bout she had against Suzuki. And I'll just say, this is easily one of my favorite fights from the entire tournament. But before we get to the hands, I can't let Suzuki slide for this atrocious fit he got on.
Oh, great heavens!
This nigga pulled up with an all-pink jumpsuit, clown makeup, and elf shoes and thought that was the fit?
Now, before you start hating, ask yourself, be honest. Ain't I'm clean, no?
Nigga, no! That fit is putrid! Anyway, the fight starts and Suzuki, just like Shishi Wakamaru, is a big yapper, talking crazy shit to Genkai, telling her the energy stealing shit she pulled on Shishi Wakamaru won't fly with him. He starts charging up and hits Genkai with a rainbow cyclone attack, landing a direct hit and sending Genkai shooting out the ring into the arena wall. Got the crowd looking in disbelief, and this dude Suzuki feeling himself. He tells the ref to start the count, and as she's counting, the smoke clears and we see Genkai standing there, completely unharmed from Suzuki's attack. Ate that shit like it was nothing. Suzuki tries to play off Genkai shrugging off his attack, only for Genkai to once again prove why she's an elite rage baiter, pointing out how she snatched the clown nose right off Suzuki's face, got that nigga looking dumbfounded. I mean, we get a whole conversation of Kuwabara talking to Hiei and Kurama after coming back from his whole teleportation fiasco. And when we cut back to the fight, this nigga is still in shock. And rewatching this fight, what happens next really should have been a sign that Suzuki is not built for this shit. Cause tell me why, bro only actually comes to when Genkai throws the nose back in his face. Bro was genuinely frozen from having his clown nose snatched and needed to be hit in order for his brain to reboot. And what's funny is that Genkai seeing this, seeing just how truly sorry the dude in the ring with her is, got her hot. Deadass, Suzuki started whining after the clown nose hit him in the face, and the moment Genkai heard him bitching, she told him to shut his bitch ass up and started cooking this dude, calling him a fake demon, saying she don't need to use any of her leftover spirit energy. All she needs for this nigga are them hands. And boy oh boy did she not lie, cause the ass whooping she puts on Suzuki, to me, the only other time hands like that were put on someone in this series was when Ryzen took over Yusuke's body and started gritting over Sensui's sternum, which is already covered on this channel. Link should pop up somewhere if you want to check that out. Back to the fight, and Suzuki, hearing Genkai won't use her spirit energy, thinks he's really doing something when he says he'll do the same thing, and starts flexing. Oh boy. This nigga has no idea what's coming. Genkai, before putting the hurt on bro, decides to give him one last lecture, letting him know that sure, he has potential, but when it comes to dog, he ain't got none of that. This little nigga is a puppy trying to play with the mutts. And hearing this is all that's needed to get Suzuki rushing in blindly, trying to catch Genkai with a haymaker, only to get his shit rocked by Genkai. Sends that nigga sliding across the ring, and sadly for Suzuki, this is just the beginning. As we see Genkai activate that Chase Down Hall of Fame badge, catch up to bro so she can stomp on his back, and when she got bored of that, she started grittying on this nigga's spine, trying to make sure that nigga never walks again, about to have him moving like Guy Sensei. After the war! After turning his nerves to mush, she hops off his back and cocks back a wicked kick before punching bro in the face, sends bro flying into the air, crashing to the ceiling before falling back down, and you can't tell me this ain't aura right here. Cause Genkai really about to do bro how Goku did Nappa, and just look at the smile on her face. She knows she cooked up right here. And this really could have been where the fight ends, But Genkai's still not done putting hands on this nigga. She proceeds to kick this dude so hard that he starts spinning like a Beyblade, heading straight for the edge of the ring. But Genkai ain't gonna let him off that easy. She rushes to the other side and slugs him with a right before teeing off on the nigga, giving him the Yusuke special, nothing but straight hands. I mean, she proceeds to do nothing but give this nigga lefts and rights for 10 seconds straight. Hits this dude with the, okay, that's enough, calls him ugly,
brother,
and watches him slump out from the ass whooping. Like I said in the intro, nothing but belts during her matches, ending her short but dominant Dark Tournament run at a perfect 2-0. Well, that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed today's video, then leave a like and subscribe. Next video, we will be on Yusuke's Dark Tournament run, so hit the bell to get the notification for when that drops. And as for the question of the day, who out of Team Urameshi is your favorite character? So that means Yusuke, Kuwabara, Hiei, Kurama, and Genkai. Out of those 5, who are you rocking with the most? For me, it's the basic choice, but I gotta rock with the main character, Yusuke. Let me know who you got in the comments, and until next time, peace.